Hey foodies, welcome to Food It Forward. Glad to have you here for our latest webisode. Today we are throwing ourselves a little fiesta. We are going to be making my award-winning Mexican green chili. Yeah, so first off I got to shout out to one of my friends, Evelyn, who first showed me kind of the building blocks on how to make green chili in the first place, so I gotta give credit where credit's due. Now I'm going to show you a version of my green chili. I do have a couple of secret ingredients that I can't share, but I guarantee you if you do this, it'll still turn out great. So let's first talk about our ingredients and what we're going to work with today. What do I have here is about 2 pounds of pork. Now for this recipe we're going to use a slow cooker. I have that right here in the background ready for us. About 2 pounds of pork. I would recommend doing like a fattier cut, like a country short rib that has a little bit more marbleization in it. If you're not big into pork, you could replace this with chicken pieces as well. I would recommend doing like a chicken thigh, like a darker chicken meat versus a breast where it might dry out on you, but either way is fine. You'll get the same amount of flavor. So about 2 pounds of pork. If you see here, again, it's green chili, so we're working with a lot of green ingredients. Number one here, tomatillos. Okay, tomatillos. These a lot of times are mistakenly confused, and people think that they're either green tomatoes or that they're unripened tomatoes. They're actually not even in the tomato family. They're part of the gooseberry family. So let me show you what one looks like. So if you're at the store, this is what they look like. They have this little outer skin here that you want to just remove, and then when you feel it, it's a little bit sticky, so you really want to make sure that you rinse those really well before you chop them up. I have about 4 large cloves of garlic right here that I finely minced. I like my green chili spicy. In fact, I use about 4 to 5 different peppers in mine. And peppers, they hit, depending on the type of pepper, they're going to hit different parts of your palate. So what I have here is about 3 large jalapenos. Now, if you're not really into spice, the heat of the pepper that you use is always in the rib and the seed. Okay, so if you're not really into big spice, but you kind of like the flavor of jalapenos, go ahead and take the ribs, that's the little white part, and the seeds out of it, and you're going to cut back that spice level significantly. Here I kept it in there because the hotter the better for me, and I like to level that up. So another interesting thing that I put into my green chili that you probably don't find a lot in green chilies is cilantro. I think the mixture of cumin with the brightness and citrus flavor of cilantro, it gives it a definitely unique texture, or I'm sorry, a flavor. I have about 1 medium-sized onion that I've chopped up. I have 1 can of diced tomatoes. You can use any kind you want. This is about a 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes. You don't want to go too much on the tomatoes because, again, it's a green chili, so you want it to look as green as possible and not have a lot of red in it. I'm using today about 4 cups of chicken stock. Now this is the Rachel Ray brand. Shout out to Rachel Ray. Now the reason why I got this, because if you look for chicken stock, you want to go for a low sodium chicken stock. The reason for that is you want to be able to control the salt content that goes into your food. So the last thing you want to do is buy a chicken stock and then you season up your meats and your vegetables, and now because of the chicken stock, it's way too salty. Okay, so and I actually got, even though this one doesn't say low sodium, if you look at the ingredients, this actually had less sodium than the Swanson brand that was marked less sodium. So so again, read the label, guys. Don't be fooled by the con act of whatever it says on the label up front. Really look at the back. Here I have about, I would say, about half a pound or so of green chilies. Now I get mine are New Mexican green chilies. I get them extra hot again. I can't stress enough I like spice. If you can only find the canned versions, they'll do fine. Get about 2 to 3 cans of those green chilies. It'll work just the same, okay? So what I'm gonna do first is I am going to brown our meat. I'm gonna season it with salt, pepper, onion and garlic powder, and cumin. Then I'm going to dredge it in 2 tablespoons of flour, and then we're going to place it in a hot skillet with oil, and we're just going to brown the meat up before we throw it in the slow cooker. So if you guys have seen our last slow cooker webisode, that's a key step. Always brown your meats first, because it's really going to level up that dish and give you a lot more flavor. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like when we get back. All right, foodies. So if you see here, this is our pork. I've seasoned it up, and I've dredged it with about 2 tablespoons of flour, and then I have our skillet here ready to go. This is on high heat with a little bit of olive oil. Now, what this does, the flour, it's going to give the meat a nice brown color, but it's also going to work as a thickening agent as we use it in the slow cooker. So I'm going to brown off our meat. It's going to take about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll throw it in the slow cooker and show you what it looks like. Alright, foodies, so if you see here, this is our pork that we did a quick brown on. Again, I'm not cooking this all the way because that's what the slow cooker is for. I just want to brown it for that flavor and to cook off the flour that we threw on here. Let's kind of come back over. So this is what the pan looks like when it's done. You see all those little bits and pieces there? Now that is a lot of good flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add olive oil to it, throw in our vegetables here, okay, and then I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so here we are, foodies. If you see here, we have our tomatillos, our jalapenos, and our onions cooking. And what I'm doing is, as I'm stirring this around, I'm trying to pick up these little bits here. I'm going to add the garlic in last, so that way the garlic doesn't burn. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add our chicken stock. Bring that up to a boil, so it's going to get all these little flavors right here together, and then we'll throw it all in the in the slow cooker with the onions and the other green chilies. One other thing too, when you add heat to a pepper, it's going to bring out even more heat. So just a little bit of knowledge there for you. All right, so if you see here, foodies, what I've taken our diced tomatoes, drained the juice from the can, and then placed that in here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our vegetable mixture here. So all those little bits and pieces that were at the bottom, all that good flavor is now in it. So I'm going to pour this into our crock pot, and then we're going to go ahead and set that on high for 8 hours minimum. And then I'll show you what that looks like. All right, foodies, so here is everything incorporated. Looks pretty good already, but the magic is going to happen when we slow cook this for 8 hours. So this is a great recipe to do overnight. Set it and forget it, and then in the morning you can even use green chili for your breakfast. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this up and let this cook for 8 hours, and then I'll check back and show you what the final product looks like. All right, foodies, so here we are, our finished product. It's been about 8 hours or so that this has been cooking on high. So the meat has broken down. It's super tender. The green chilies, the tomatillos, they have broken down. So it's a cohesive type of dish. What I did here is I drizzled a little bit of Mexican crema. You could use sour cream. You could use your favorite cheese if you want. Serve that with tortillas. You can make burritos and pour it in over burritos, whatever you like. This is my award-winning chili, and I know that you guys are going to love this. So again, tailor it to your needs. If you can make a stew out of this as well, by making a stew, if you want to add like chopped up potatoes toward the last 45 minutes of cooking or so. Boom, there you got another dish. You got a green chili stew. So hope you guys like this. Try this one out. Definitely recommend it. You're going to get a lot of great flavor. Don't try to go against me on a chili contest, though, because there's a couple secrets that I didn't share today. But, you know, maybe if you ask nicely, I'll let you in on those. So enjoy this, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, Food It Forward, signing out. La 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 la, baby, baby. La 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 la.